You're lucky, you know. Most kids don't get to live like this, his father said, placing a gentle hand on his son's shoulder. But the boy just stared blankly out the window, surrounded by expensive toys, a pool in the backyard, and every comfort money could buy. He still felt empty. His father knew that feeling. He had felt it too, once. That's why he had a plan, a trip, not to Disneyland or Paris, but somewhere unexpected. Somewhere that might teach his son something more valuable than any classroom could: how to truly live. What follows is not just a story about wealth and poverty, it's about a truth many of us forget in our chase for success. And by the end of this video, you might just rethink what it means to be rich. The boy and his father drove hours away from the city. Paved roads turned to dirt paths. Wi-Fi dropped. The skyline disappeared into open fields. They were headed to a small rural farm owned by a man the father had known years ago, a man who never made much money, but always seemed content. The boy wasn't thrilled. No Xbox, no smoothies, just mosquitoes and silence. They arrived at a humble farmhouse where a wiry man with sunburned skin and a wide smile welcomed them. "You must be tired. Come on in. Dinner's almost ready." That night, they sat around a handmade wooden table, passing around bowls of vegetables freshly picked that morning. There were no waiters or menus, just laughter, storytelling, and the smell of something real. Effort, honesty, warmth. They slept in the barn, hay sticking to their clothes. They bathed in the nearby river, which was colder than any pool the boy had ever known, but somehow more refreshing. The days were long and simple, helping harvest tomatoes, feeding chickens, watching sunsets instead of screens. And something unexpected happened. The boy stopped asking when they were going back. He started asking questions about how the farm worked. He asked if he could help carry water. He listened to the farmers' kids talk about life, dreams, and school. On their way home, the car was quiet, but the silence wasn't awkward. It was reflective. The father finally broke it. "So, what did you think of our trip?" The boy nodded slowly. "It was great." The father smiled. "Good." And the boy, "I learned the F. They have 4 dogs, we only have one. We buy for W. We the chop it apart." This story isn't just fiction. It echoes real lives. People who've discovered that T has take Joe P, or consider the growing movement of digi-tech. Let's also talk about burnout. Surveys show that people with 6-figure incomes often report feeling less happy than the me. The rich farmer in our story didn't measure success by numbers, but by PRR. But we work long hours to afford vacations we're too tired to enjoy. We earn degrees and promotions, hoping they'll validate our worth, but rarely pause to ask, what key? The farmer had few possessions, but he had a rich life. He worked with his hands. He saw the fruits of his labor. He laughed with his family every night. That's a kind of wealth no dollar amount can match. When they got home, the boy walked into their mansion with new eyes. He didn't complain about the Wi-Fi. He didn't reach for his tablet. He went outside barefoot and looked up at the stars. His father joined him. Neither of them said much, because sometimes the most important truths can't be spoken, only felt. "Thank you, Dad," the boy whispered. And with that, a seed had been planted. Wealth isn't about what you have. It's about how you live. Ask yourself, are you connected to the people around you? Do you experience joy in simple moments? Do you feel free? Or are you a prisoner of your possessions? The richest life isn't always the most expensive one. It's the one that's lived deeply, honestly, and in harmony with others.